Last time, we learnt that an opera is a story told through song. But how does a composer or a director choose a story which the music is going to be about? Well, today we'll look at 3 different ways that composers or directors might choose to have their story. They might take their story from history. They might take their story from a book that already exists. Or their story might be completely original. Let's have a closer look. Sometimes in history, composers have used real historical events to inspire their operas. Take George Frederick Handel, for example. He wrote an opera about Julius Caesar in Egypt. It's all about Caesar and Cleopatra and their trip to Egypt about 100 years BCE.
Wow, this is a long opera. It must have been a great trip.
Sometimes composers use books as their inspiration for their operas. Take, for example, Carmen by Georges Bizet. His opera is set in Spain and it's sung in French, and it's based on a novella or a short novel by Prosper Mérimée. And Bizet worked with librettists who wrote the lyrics, or the libretto, for his opera. And sometimes operas use completely new stories altogether. Mozart's opera, The Magic Flute, has an almost completely original story with libretto by Emmanuel Schikaneder. The plot has 2 love stories, but it's also about a quest for wisdom. So, there you have it. Operas can be based on real historical events, they can be inspired by a book, or they can be completely original. And that's just 3 of the ways that composers can be inspired to write their operas. Here's a song from an opera I wrote. It's called I Have Gathered These Stories, and it uses a poem called Prelude by Banjo Patterson.
I have gathered these afar in the wind and rain, in the wind and rain, in the land where the catacans are, on the edge of the glen, in the overland route, in the overland route, in the overland route of the west, where the watchers were long. Just a song. These are just the true stories. What is inside my sadness? These records of wandering years and sad is their worth. Though their merits are indeed but slight, I shall not repine if they give you one moment's delight.
Did you notice how many voices were singing? There were in fact 4. A soprano, an alto, a tenor, and a bass. And a lot of composers throughout history have used exactly those 4 voice types. And they sing together in harmony. Harmony is when different voices sing together and it sounds beautiful. In that excerpt, there were 4 voice types. A soprano who sings the highest, an alto who sings a little bit lower, a tenor who sings a little bit lower than that, and a bass who sings the lowest. We've learnt lots about opera today. I think it's time for a review. Let's have a game of Factoid. Here are some facts. One of them on the screen is not true. Let me read them to you first, and then see if you can guess which of the facts is not true. Fact number 1. Handel wrote an opera about Julius Caesar. Fact number 2. Mozart wrote an opera which had a completely original storyline. Fact number 3. There are often 4 voice types: sopranos, altos, maltos, and basses. And fact number 4, Bizet's opera Carmen is based on a short novel. Did you guess which one it is? Maybe you could pause the video and discuss. Fact number 3 is wrong. The 4 voice types are sopranos, altos, tenors, and basses. Well, thanks everyone for watching today. I've learned a lot about music and I hope you have too. See you next time on the amazing, incredible, mind-boggling music show.